Hey guys, today I'm going to be recording a new review for a movie which the sequel for it is going to be coming out this weekend at the time of me recording this. So I decided that I'm going to review the Lego Movie from 2014. Now, the film focuses on Emmett. He is just your average, ordinary guy. He's just a regular construction worker. He's just sort of another face in the crowd. That is until one day he discovers something called the Piece of Resistance, as it is part of a prophecy that supposedly could be able to stop the Kraggle. Now, the Kraggle is a substance that could be able to permanently stick people in place, and they cannot move, they have no thought, they're just stuck there for the rest of eternity. And the evil Lord Business is trying to use the Kraggle on Taco Tuesday because he believes the fact that people are ruining his quote-unquote perfect society by constantly taking his things and rebuilding them. Also, I should mention real quick that Chris Pratt is the voice of Emmett, aka Star-Lord, and Will Ferrell is the voice of Lord Business, and another character that I'm going to mention soon, except he doesn't really voice him, which I'll explain later. And along the way, Emmett encounters Wildstyle, played by Elizabeth Banks, Lord Vitruvius, who's played by Morgan Freeman, and Batman, who's played by Will Arnett. He also has to stop. Also, what I'm trying to say is he's also being chased down by Lord Vitruvius. No, not Vitruvius. Lord Business's second in command. Good cop, bad cop, who's voiced by Liam Neeson. That's really just funny to me. It's like Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's awesome. If you don't know who Liam Neeson is, he's a big action guy. He was in the Taken movies. He was in a couple of other stuff too, but that's besides the point. But yeah, what makes the Lego Movie work? Because when you hear the Lego Movie at first, before this movie came out, it's like, really, they're making a movie about Legos? Like, how can that work? Well, you get the talent of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Now, you actually may or may not have heard those names before, but in case you haven't, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller actually worked on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, with Phil Lord providing the story and was also one of the people who wrote the script, and him and Christopher Miller ended up executive producing. They also worked on those Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies that were actually released a little while ago, and they were actually the original directors for Solo, a Star Wars story, before they were fired by Disney and replaced with Ron Howard. But I'm going to talk about that when I go through all the Star Wars films, including the Star Wars story films, which are just anthologies, but I digress. Now, what really makes this movie work is not only just the characters themselves and the voice acting, but the humor. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller can be able to do humor. Originally, when I saw this movie, I was like, hold on, let me think. I was 9 when I first saw this movie, so I just thought, oh, wait, it's just a bunch of Legos, that's pretty nice. But now that I'm older, and the fact that I've seen so many movies, I can actually be able to understand the themes of the Lego Movie a little bit more. Now, spoilers, I guess, for like a 5-year-old movie, but it's revealed that the whole events of the Lego Movie are taking place from the perspective of a young boy named Finn. And his father is the supposed man who lives upstairs, which is this legend that has been told around because of this prophecy and all that other stuff. As it turns out, the man who lives upstairs is Finn's father, who is played by Will Ferrell. And when he sees his son messing around with all of his Legos, he's like, "Son, what are you doing? You're messing up and ruining all of my stuff. You can't do this. They're not toys." And then Finn pretty much is like, "But we bought this at a toy store." It's like, "Yeah, but this is daddy's stuff." And he also comments back like, "But it says for ages 8 to 14. And he's like, "That's just a suggestion age." But yeah. As it turns out, the whole Lego Movie is a metaphor about a son and his father's relationship, and how hard it is for the son to be able to connect his father because he's so obsessed with everything just being 100% perfect. He just wants everything to go his way. And the ending speech at the end of this movie is amazing. Through the whole entirety of the film, there's the idea of the special, the person who could be able to stop Lord Business. The person who is one of the most interesting and most talented people in the whole universe. But Emmett, by the end of the movie, he realized the fact that he's not only is he the special, but so is the president of business, aka Lord Business. So is Wild Style. So is Batman. Even people like you and me, we are the special because we all have something that makes us unique and special. That's what makes us special. It's what makes us unique. What makes us who we are, that's what truly makes us the special. So, really, everybody can be the special. And, in a way, we already are. Now, that is actually really, really good. But, yeah. But I do kind of like the ending a little bit because it's probably the part in which I kind of laughed the most at. And it's like, his father eventually, after hearing the speech, he realized, wait, I'm the bad guy? Oh, I should probably fix that. And so he helps his son pretty much just he plays with his son, and he tells him, you know what? You know who's going to be coming down here to play with you? Who? Your sister. And then the music just stops hard. It's like real emotional music, and then it just stops, and then Fitz like, wait, what? And then we just see like all the Lego people just happy, and then we see a spaceship come out of nowhere, and it's just a bunch of Lego Duplos, and there's like, we are from the Lego Duplan, and we are here to destroy you. It's like, oh no. That just shows you the fact that even from the very beginning they were setting up the idea of a sequel, and it turned out to be really, really successful. Critics loved it, audiences loved it. It was a huge hit at the box office. So not only did it have a sequel, but it also had a couple of spin-offs with the Lego Batman movie, the Lego Ninjago movie. There's a fourth one coming out. There's a third spin-off called the Billion Brick Race or something along those lines. There was a 4D attraction that opened at Legoland, I think. There's a Unikitty cartoon on Cartoon Network right now. So, yeah, this is essentially, this one movie was able to spawn an entire franchise because it takes a simple idea like Legos and they're able to build upon that idea, and because these people, because Phil and Chris Miller, they understand Legos, they understand why we love them so much, because you can literally take them and build anything that you want. Sky's the limit when it comes to these types of Legos. That's why I always love looking online to see what type of stuff that people have been able to build with Legos, because it is just amazing the amount of detail that people can be able to put into these things and how much care and attention can go into these. That's actually really cool. And I, of course, really love the message about how everybody can be special, and even if it may seem like you're the bad guy in some things, you don't have to be the bad guy. You can choose to be a good person or not. It's all up to you. And I really like that. And of course the humor is hilarious. And then of course I have to talk about Everything is Awesome. Let's just say the fact that upon recently rewatching the film, I finally got that song stuck out of my head. Then I immediately got it restuck back in there as soon as I watched the movie. It's like, everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome. It's like, this thing is, I've literally just watched this thing like 2-3 days ago and it's still stuck in my head. So, yeah, Lego movie, really, really great movie. Give it a 9 out of 10. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead and see it. And go ahead and see the Lego Batman movie too, because it's actually not that bad a spin-off. But yeah, but then again, you may not like it, but because that's the whole idea of art. Art is subjective. So yeah, tune in soon for my review of Lego Movie 2 soon, and I may have another review that's going to be coming up very, very soon about a film that is recently turned 20 years old. And that movie has to deal with the idea of whether or not we truly are living in the right reality or not. That's all I'm going to give, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can be able to figure out what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Until next time, stay gold.